I think it still does go. I mean, that's almost like
Barely
that's almost like
legal.
yeah, that's like ready to get your cherry popped on prom night. It's like 17.
Hell yeah, you
We're
gotta you
almost
gotta
there.
intro it like that, dude. You gotta intro it like sexy, like I'm gonna bang the shit out of you on prom night.
Almost
Yeah,
legal.
episode 17. Gonna stick it to you raw. Live, Prius, or die.
Die. Die. Die.
Live, Prius, or die. Yeah, yeah, you're here. Live.
Welcome to another episode of Live Prius or Die. It is motherfreaking April 29th, 2016, and this is episode 17. That's right, people. We're barely legal here. All right, and with me, as always, is going to be the master of disaster, Will.
What's up?
And my right hand that plays with my left hand, Mondo.
Sometimes I spit in your left hand just to demean it a little.
I'm gonna slap your ass.
That's right. I look over and I'm like, oh, you like that, you little dirty bitch?
It really does like it because it's got the eyeshadow that kind of like drips down the fingers and it just feels so demeaned and puts in the corner.
Yep.
Saliva is a natural lubricant.
That
It
is.
is. No, that's true. That's very true. Sometimes that's myself. We're not gonna get into that.
I mean, I just speaking of that, it's like a natural lubricant. There's some. If you're 90 years old, I just don't see how you're ever getting banged. I mean, because there is not enough saliva. Like I would dehydrate before I ever got it, even like wetting that whistle, so to speak.
Can you imagine, like,
You
what
gotta
that
get-
would
you gotta
sound
get
like?
the dog from Canine out there to drool all over it.
Yeah, like you.
I think it would be like pouring water on a sidewalk that's like 100 degrees. It would
Right.
just like evaporate.
Can you imagine the pre-sex sound? It'd be like. Hold on.
Stay
Get
on
some water.
target. Stay
It's
on
like,
target.
Damn.
That's right.
What is that? A sponge?
I mean, you would probably have a callus just surrounding your cock because it would be just like abrasive as hell.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's like water on sand, right? It just
keeps
immediately
yeah.
absorbs in.
It pulls up for a second, but it just beads up into more sand after a while.
Right.
Well, enough about dusty vagina. How's everyone's week?
Go ahead, Pete. Lay it down.
Well, it's been a really fun week of traveling, and actually today I had something like just so bizarre happen to me. I went to stop at the gas station to get gas in my car, and while I'm pumping the gas, I hear like this voice from behind me,
Huh.
and it was like, "Sir, sir," and so I turn around, and it's this shim. I had no idea whether it was like a woman or a man. I'm like, this is either like a really butch woman or it's a really effeminate dude. And Shim was like, I just want to find out what gym you go to. And I'm like, I work out at home. And I'm like, that's probably the wrong thing to say because she's going to be like, can I come work out with you? And I'm like, just freaked out by the whole thing. She's like, you got a really nice physique. And I'm like, it was almost like the same feeling I get like if a dude came up to you and was like, hey man, nice traps. It's like, you're not quite sure how to take it. You're like, you realize I have a penis, right? It's like, this relationship that you're trying to evolve is like going nowhere.
You got this one. You got to brandish the wedding ring, man.
Right.
It's like your shield, right? You just put it up like Captain America and be like,
But if this
man,
if this person's like most other people, that ring is just like a beacon. It's like the bat symbol. Sometimes they're like, oh, you won't stick
I know.
around. You'll just run away after a while. It's like, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it slows down some, but it really doesn't stop. I mean, it's
Right.
it's a
Pete's getting uncomfortable. And he's like,
Hadouken!
it was really one of those moments where I was like, and then it told me its name. It's like, yeah, I'm Sharon, and I'm like, okay, I know it's a woman now.
was her
but I
last
still-
name Peters?
No,
I was waiting for it.
Sharon Dix. I was just really it was really like, okay, that's a female, but it's almost like being approached by a dude. It was very weird. It's like, no, I don't want your penis. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And if you had
So
said, I have a penis too, she would have been like, so do I.
So did she hit you? So did she hit you with the black dildo or what?
I escaped beforehand. I was like, look, I've got a meeting I got to go to, but it's been really great talking to you. And I just like, kind of jetted out. But yeah, I'm not sure what the intention was there, but I kept my manginity that day.
Nice.
I'm like, I am not gonna be seduced by your butchness.
Come on, be one with the butchness.
No, I can't just no. That's gross.
I mean, to each their own. Everybody has their thing. And you should take it as a compliment that, you're attractive to every side of the sex is.
That's right. I almost converted a lesbian. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
No offense, Mondo, but I would never I would never cuddle with you.
Hey, I'm fine with. I mean, you might if I was like having a nervous breakdown and you were the only person in the room.
Well, if it was like naked and afraid,
and we were
I'd probably have
naked,
to.
yeah. See, and we were all greased up with baby oil.
I love how he got all up on the mic for that.
I like to get real close.
Dude, it's going to be a total. You two are going to be totally going down in a plane crash, and one of you is going to whip it out and start jerking off, and then the other one's going to do it, and we're going to be at the end like, well, did he come or what?
Yeah, exactly.
There's just some things you don't talk about.
About in public.
Oh man, yeah, but that's pretty much how my week just summed up.
Yeah, I'd never have anything cool like that happen. Like, there's nothing amazing this week for me. I'm passing the torch to Will. I'm sure something amazing happened to Will.
Not really like directly to me. It's just kind of typical work week. Here, there, everywhere, and making phone calls. You'd be surprised how much men want to talk on the phone. And so I got through most of that. But then my wife dropped a bomb on me today.
She's pregnant?
No.
Oh, okay.
Nothing directly on us. But so she starts telling, because my wife deals with some special needs people, and so she has to meet with them once in a while to have discussions how things are going. And so she tells me this story about how like this guy apparently had like this personal trainer for like 9 years, and so this personal trainer, I guess I was working out because the guy had been losing weight. I don't know how big he was. She didn't really go into the details. She just said he has lost quite a bit. And so she's like, and then all of a sudden he starts telling me like, she asked him kind of how it's going with him, and he said, well, most of the time pretty good. She's like, well, what does that mean most of the time? He's like, yeah, when he's not making me get down like a dog. I'm like, what?
What?
And she's like, all right, what do you mean by that? He's like, yeah, well, when I'm not performing well enough in my exercises, he makes me get down on a dog and start eating poop. And I'm like, what? No way. So this trainer guy who is literally forcing this handicapped person to get down and eat dog shit off the ground if he's failing to do what he's supposed to be doing.
Like real dog shit?
Well, I mean, this is, again, you got to take with this grain of salt that this is somebody with special needs, but she says, like, he's never been one to make stories up or anything like that. So, yeah, real dog shit. And this has been going on possibly 9 years. We don't know how long if this is like a new development or what. I mean, could you just imagine, like, everybody's just thinking everything's hunky-dory? Bruh. And yeah. And 9 years of possibly some guy eating dog shit.
That's crazy, dude. Like,
yeah, my wife's just like, what kind of people get into this kind of work? There's no pay. I'm like, this is exactly why they get into it, because they have power.
Well, there's
they have power to influence people to do this kind of shit.
The only regulation that, to my knowledge, that they would need would be like that a degree in like physical therapy or there's some type of training that you can like this that you can do. You have that as your background. You can formulate your own plan. Yeah, exactly. So you have like you can make up your own like plan for people to do. Is he doing this to this person because he knows he's special needs? So it's like, or he has some type of learning or mental disability, and he's like, well, I'm gonna teach him and making me dog shit. That sounds like this dude's got like a fetish for that kind of stuff. That's crazy.
Right,
Well, I
right.
mean,
You
if you're eating dog shit, I mean that really is a special need. I mean, because like whatever's in the dog shit.
well, I mean, yeah, this guy could have gotten sick or died. Oh man,
Oh
it's just
yeah.
nuts to
Oh
think that this
yeah.
is possible. I mean, we don't know that it is going on for sure, and we don't know how long it's been going on. But I mean, if this guy's been training it for 9 years, this could be some serious shit with it. No pun intended.
So this isn't part of
It's
the training
shit.
though, right? Like he's been training him to eat a pile of dog shit for like
Hey,
9 years.
I'll tell you what, they're doing fecal implants. He could have just bypassed the whole FDA
Yep.
process.
I don't need the FDA to approve this. I'll just go ahead and stick it in my mouth because
It's shit.
It's got to get there one way or another.
Here's a nice piece of poop.
Old man's Clemens hates shit.
wow, dude.
That
Yeah,
is-
that's
so
crazy.
that was the capper of the week.
Man, I can't believe people are fucked up. Man.
True. Yeah.
Did
no
they?
kidding.
So are they gonna report this guy or what?
Yeah, I guess the mother of the guy is pressing charges. So, but it's like, how do you prove that shit?
Yeah.
Probably just test his breath.
Right, right. Yeah, I don't know if there could be something in your bloodstream that they could test for. Jesus, yeah, but the breath would definitely be kicking for sure.
I'm surprised he didn't get sick. That's crazy, man. That really is. Like, that's really unfortunate.
Oh God, yeah. It's just so yeah. What's wrong with people these days?
Yeah. Are you
You make them
okay?
eat something. I mean, make it just like gummy worms or something.
Oh,
He had to eat faux
Wow.
shit. Eat this chocolate pudding and just call it shit.
Right.
I mean, just imagine how long it takes to find that perfect pile. I mean, how many shits did he have to like leap through to find that perfect one? It's like, oh, this is the one Billy's gonna gobble down
Well-
today if he doesn't do his exercise.
Yeah, I forgot to ask if they at least had a dog. Yeah, at least it's homegrown.
Wow.
It's got to be that special breed. He's like breeding dogs to get that special shit. It's like, no, that looks like a Pomeranian. I need a white Eskimo.
That's way too small for this task.
I don't need any baby turds here. Where's a damn Great Dane when you need one?
Well, you gotta watch out for rabbit turds. They look like goddamn Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a cluster. It is. It's like a cluster. It looks like a cluster of small grapes. It's disgusting.
That's why that fucking bird's so crazy, because he's eating all those fucking rabbit turds.
That'll turn you inside out.
Yeah. So, moving on. So, what's up with the news?
I don't know. What is up with the news?
I don't know, Will. You tell us what's up with the news.
Well, fucking hit the sound.
There you go.
Okay. Okay, we got a double take.
That was the remix.
the remix. All right, so Russia. You wouldn't believe this. I don't know what was stranger about this story, but so I'm just kind of checking out some stuff, and so in Russia, there's like a World War II memorial, right? Mm-hmm. And quite often they have those like eternal flames.
Yeah.
So
Like the Bengals.
exactly, and so they've got one in this park, and somebody thought they were going to be funny, so they went out there and put a cardboard painting where the eternal flame is supposed to be, but it's a cardboard painting of a flame. Well, so all right, I was like, okay, what a jackass. They had to put this out, right? So I started reading the article. I'm like, well, wait, they don't even have this thing lit half the time. So like, how eternal can this flame ever be if there's no flame there? I guess they only do it on special occasions. I mean, come on, Russia. I mean, you gotta put a monument up. Can't you at least commit to what it's supposed to be?
In Mother Russia, flame burns you.
Yeah. So somebody must have been pissed off, like the fact that it wasn't burning. Was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna put a sign out here.
That's wow.
And the
man.
picture is so ridiculous. It is just like somebody took a white poster board and just drew a flame on it. So
That
so
is
we're gonna
awesome.
this is on the BBC, of course, and we'll put the link up. But
Well, at
I
least
mean,
they're doing their job. I mean,
I don't know what
somebody.
was, at first I was like, what was stranger, the fact that somebody put this cardboard flame, or the fact that the damn thing wasn't lit most of the time?
So it had to be there for a while, and then someone was like, "We pay gas bill. We burn flame now."
Right? Somebody said like, "Oh, we're footing the bill for this one way or another. We might as well have something here."
Right.
Wow. It was like somebody's third grade class just put up a little art project. They're like, we're going to put the flame up.
This is at least an 8th grader. This is way over a third grader's head.
Wow, dude, that's crazy.
But hey, they want an eternal flame. I suppose if you put a picture out there, it's eternal.
Until it rains.
Well, yeah,
Which it does like all the time in Russia.
Blows away and whatever else happens to it. Hey, but it's serving more purpose than the empty spot where it's supposed to be.
Right.
It's like those back in a few minutes signs that people hang on doors when they go out to lunch. They just
Back in 15
it's
minutes.
a placeholder.
Yeah.
Right, and then they
Flame
just
lit
leave it all
in
day.
15 minutes.
Flame will be back in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Right, and I love that. Yeah, I always love those. Oh, we'll be back in 15 minutes. 15 minutes from when?
Right. Right. It just says 15 minutes. You don't know how long they've been gone.
Was that 5 seconds ago
Well, and
or 3 hours ago?
The best part about those signs is that the fact that it's like it's literally a clock, and it puts a time on there. And
Right.
I've walked past them, and it's like the same time every time. So I'm like, oh, this person goes to lunch at the same time. I waited for 2 hours for a shop to open, and they were like, back in 15 minutes. And I was like, at 11:30, and it's now 3 o'clock.
You know what, Mondo? They were filing for bankruptcy as you spoke.
Right, yeah. Or getting ahead in the back. Whatever you want to imagine. I'm fine with that.
That's enough to close the shop.
Yeah. What do you mean you can't pay? All right.
But seriously, that one kind of was just a little strange, and then then I kept going on, and then I found one. Here was one even better. Ohio City, which is pretty close to Cleveland, they're having a real problem with a serial pooper.
Pete, I told you to stay out of that place.
Cleveland does not rock. Sorry, Cleveland. But so apparently somebody's going around this Ohio City and just like shitting in just random places. Like they were saying like in their yards, just in plain walkways at local businesses, close to their homes.
It's the return of the Zodiac.
The mad pooper.
He's leaving letters. It's
Is it the same
Zodiac
guy that
shitter.
poops in the urinal at my job?
Pretty much.
I'm wondering at this point. Well, okay. On that, I worked at Frank's Nursery,
Yeah.
and there aren't going to be too many people who remember this place, but there was a guy that came in there at one time. He was an older gentleman, and I guess just had to take a shit, and so he did, and just shook it out of his pants leg and left it in the middle of the aisle in the
I'm gonna tell you what. I'll tell you in the retail environment. That's more the norm than it isn't.
Yes. That is the like second job that's happened to me. And like
Right.
I saw it, and my manager he calls me to the office. He's like, "Watch this dude," because you can see it on the security cameras, right? He's like, "Watch this dude," because he knew it was gonna happen, right? So I'm standing there and I'm watching. I see him just shake the turd out of his pants, out of his boxers, down to his pants leg, and it's right in the aisle with all the insecticides and pesticides are. And he just walks off, right? So I look over and I feel him tap my chest. He's already holding a broom and a like snow shovel, and I was like, "You want me to scoop it up?" He was like, "Yeah, go ahead, go clean it up." I was like, "Did you just have all this shit ready?"
Man, you got a promotion.
Yeah, I know. Turd sweeper.
That dude totally Shawshank Redemption you, man. He fucking pulled Andy Dufresne by like going out to the yard and just shaking the turd out in the middle of the aisle. It's a prison break.
He was passing a note. You gotta look through the turd, man. It's in there somewhere.
He was like,
Well,
I need.
going on to this whole story, though, I mean, then they get this quote from some dude named Mark, and you gotta listen to this. Is an exact quote here. And I'll do my best because it's so bad of English. It's like, you call 911 and say, "Hey, man, I see somebody in somebody's yard. They taking a trow," what the hell that means, or a dump, Or they taken a urine. By the time the police came, they'd probably be gone. That was an exact quote from Mark from Ohio City.
So it happens worldwide. They do find the most ignorant person to put on the news.
It does, man.
That's awesome.
Where did they dig this guy up? And of course, the comments just lay into him. But police say, if they catch him, they're gonna charge him with a crime. Well, no shit. Actually, shit. Public indecency, possible criminal damage, and/or vandalism.
Criminal mischief.
Well, he's creating like a whole new type of graffiti. It's graffiti.
That's awesome.
Oh, that is freaking perfect, man.
Wow.
So they're gonna what crimes are they charging him with again?
Indecency. What was the other one? Criminal damage. I'm assuming that's going to be emotionally damaged.
Yeah.
And then vandalism.
Criminal.
I love that vandalism. It's like, what was the nature of the crime, sir? He took a shit in my lawn. Vandalism. Oh,
Well, it's like a natural fertilizer. He's just, he's probably just some hippie green freak. Just trying to keep everything copacetic.
Honey badger don't care.
I just love that damage.
It just takes what it wants.
It's going to be more of a moral crime than anything.
The evidence will be washed away in one hell of a rainstorm, though. I mean,
yeah, but he's like dropping turds all over the city.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say he's just dropping turds all over the city. He just doesn't care, man. It's like, this is like a good spot. What does he think?
Right.
You think he names him?
It's like, what the hell are the police doing that they can't catch this one person all around town? I mean, I'm assuming Ohio City was not that big, but I mean, you just look for any random homeless guy just walking around shaking a leg.
I think they're actually looking for the wrong guy. I think it actually might be the Cadbury Bunny. I think it's the Cadbury Bunny running around the city of Cleveland, dropping little Easter eggs for the kids to find. That's it. It's harmless. So they're gonna drag him to jail and slap him with criminal damage and public indecency. He's a fucking bunny, man. He's just doing his job.
Right. Well, I want to know how they figured it was a human shit, not dog shit. I mean, most of the time you can tell. I'll give you that, but sometimes you can't.
Some of those breeds, dude. Yeah, they're like human turds. They're just dropping them. Well, how do we get back to talking about shit again? Like, how did we boomerang back to this? This is amazing.
Hey, you can never go wrong with shit.
That's right.
Everyone loves a good poop joke.
We're all about farting and dicks and, dick holes, as Mondo started out.
Pee hole.
That's right.
I hope they catch the guy, but that's kind of a waste of time. Just set up a trap, like set up a chili stand or something, and then watch that guy and see who doesn't go to the restroom.
They'll have to follow the trail.
Just give it up.
Set up a trap. It's like they're gonna clear off the perfect spot to take a shit.
No. Oh, I got a better idea. Put up like random corn stands, corn in the cob.
Yeah.
And then when he shits, I mean, he's just gonna leave a trail.
So wait till August in Indiana.
Yeah, pretty much.
Go to the state fair, get some buttered corn. First guy takes a shit on the runway. That's your dude.
You see like 20 cops jump on him.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat your ass. Well, maybe not with my hands.
You gotta have some kind of snare set up to catch him.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a good thing that we're protected a little bit. Police brutality is out there.
Nowadays, you got kids that just, they just say shit whenever they want to say it and however they want to say it. When you're driving by in a car or, you see like these group of kids just kind of walking by and then they want to say shit to you and it's like, you can't turn around and just kick their ass,
Right.
Especially at our age, right? I mean, but even still, it's like, the big kids just aren't taking care of business anymore, making it, they got to represent.
Big kids don't beat up little kids enough anymore.
No, and I think a lot of it kind of stems from like, you can't abuse kids. I mean, and when I say that, I mean there's abuse and then there's, correcting some attitude, and there's just not enough correcting the attitude, even between like these younger kids that think they can just say whatever they want to like the teenagers or even to the adults, because they just go around to their moms and then they get the cops and all this other shit going on. It used to be like if you're a little smart ass kid and you said the wrong shit, you got smacked up, and you learned your lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but see, the reason that's changed is because there's been so much emphasis on bullying, and that's a real thing. That really is a real thing. Kids are just assholes to other kids, and some kids take it too far because, again, and goes back to your point, no one's there to put them in check for that kind of stuff. They just do it and they don't say anything, and everybody keeps their mouth shut. Just like that, there was a girl who was beaten to death in a high school bathroom because no one went and got the authorities or grabbed the teacher. They basically, it was a girl, a 16-year-old girl who was beat up by other girls who were either her age or a little older, and it took a little too far, and they hit her so hard that she fell and hit her head up against a sink and died. But everybody in the bathroom, which were all girls, had their phones out and they were recording the whole thing. And that these alpha girls were out there trying to make a point. But I mean, if something like that had happened back when we were in high school, those girls not only would have gotten expelled, but other girls from the school probably would have beat their ass outside of school. That's just how it works. There would have been somebody, at least for most of our generation, if there was a fight, there was a fight. Like you went and you handled your business. But again, it's hard to separate that bullying aspect from it. From this kid needs to be reminded that you're no better than any of the rest of us.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I get that there's that whole bullying mentality and everybody's worried about it. It's like, that's survival of the fittest to some degree. It's like, yeah, but I don't think, I mean, there's a line for everybody or for every situation, and people just need not to cross it. But at the same time, people got to get some thicker skin and know what they're up against, so they know better than to say, there's the respect your elders for a reason, because they've been through some shit and they know how to deal with some shit, and it's shitty for you to not understand that and respect that. So yeah, you need to have your ass kicked.
I agree with that. There's nothing there's nothing to straighten out a personality flaw like an ass whooping.
Yeah.
I mean, and I remember tons of kids in school that, they were just assholes all the time to anybody and everybody they could be, and except for maybe a handful of people, because either they felt like they could have kicked their ass. So, but then they thought they were badass and they could just fuck around with people. It's just, there's so many times you just wish somebody would have just put them in their fucking place and just beat their ass.
Yeah, and you don't, again, like it's hard to do that now, because I mean, if you were a kid in high school now, you either are on the side that's doing the bullying just so you can keep your head down and no one notices you, or you're being bullied. Like, there's no middle ground. And back when we were in school, you were told, you went home with a bloody lip or, in tears or whatever, whatever the problem is. I had uncles telling me, well, go back out there and beat his ass. Like, go out there and show him what's going on, and there's been plenty of times where I've gotten into fights with people, and when I was younger, and then later we become friends about it. Now it's not like that, man, because they carry it so far into social media and things like that. Like, you might get your ass kicked and you might retaliate, but then it's up on fucking YouTube, right. So then everybody else can make fun of you, and it just keeps snowballing from there. So I mean, there's I totally agree with you guys to a certain aspect. If it is just one kid, if it's one kid getting bullied by maybe one or two kids and he decides to go and fight, yeah, go ahead and do that. But make sure that you do it right. Otherwise, it's just going to keep going. And I mean, at that point, is it really worth it? Because then the cycle's never broken. Who's learning anything? You might get your ass kicked.
You bring up a very good point. And you're right. The Facebooks and the YouTubes of the world kind of help keep that process going, right? It's like, at least when the events are over, like, you go home and fuck, it's over today.
Right.
But it isn't. Nowadays, somebody goes online and says, "Oh, look what happened to little Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
He got his ass kicked because he's a little puss." and then everybody else chimes in like, "Yeah, he is a little puss," and and it's just, and now you got. But at the same time, it's like, where's the adult mentalities out there to catch when it is getting to that point where it's going too far.
Because those are the same.
Yeah.
Those adults are out there watching those videos and laughing.
Yep. I'm
Like
I'm with
Mondo.
you guys. I'm ready to go out and fight right now.
Why?
You guys have talked me into it.
You're gonna
All
go whoop
right.
some ass?
Just go
I'm gonna
find
go
some
out-
like 5-year-old and just punch him in the face.
That's right. I'm gonna go out and bully him right now.
That's right.
Talk me into it. I'm all fired up.
We push Pete over the edge. He's full bully all the time.
He's done. Yep.
His daughter's gonna wake up in the morning. He's just gonna punch her in the nose. I
Somebody's
told you to sleep.
Somebody gonna get bullied right now.
Ultra Combo!
That is that's crazy, man. Yeah, but I can't disagree with that. I mean, I know back in the day that's what we needed. You needed to do that. Now it's so hard to get away with that. And believe me, and I was just talking to some people at work and Pete about this not too long ago, but nothing makes me happier than to see a teenager that thinks they deserve that shit should be handed to them, and they haven't really worked for anything. Nothing makes me happier than to put a foot in that kid's ass, or to let them know, verbally, hey, guess what? You stepped to the wrong adult because I'm gonna get in your face. And I may not do it in front of all these people and all these cameras, but if we're on the elevator together, if we're in the stairwell, I might shoulder check you. I might remind you, you're really not shit. You think you're shit in front of all these people because you're protected, but you're not shit, And those are the kids that are out there.
That's the shit that pisses me off is when they play them kind of games. It's like, yeah, you can't do anything.
Yeah, because they want to pull that card.
Put us in a room and let's have a talk. Maybe
That's
a couple throws too.
Yeah,
That's right. Give me some stairs. We'll equalize things.
yep.
That's right. A few doorknobs. Oh yeah.
Right. I don't know what happened, officer. He just fell.
Yep.
He just clumsy.
Motherfucker.
Son, he just clumsy.
Yeah, that's the kind of shit that gets under my skin though. When you're entitled, when you feel entitled, or you run into these kids that act like they're entitled to everything. I can't be bothered, man. Don't come at me like that. Work for something. Show me that you're going to work for something. Treat other people with respect. Don't think that you're going to sit there and pull that card and be like you said, well, what are you going to do to me? I'll show you what I do to you.
Right.
When we're in that janitor's closet and I hit you in places where there are no bruises. I talk to Mike Tyson. I know what's up.
Yeah, son.
Stay away from the ears.
Yep. Well, if you like what you've heard, give us a +1 on Google. We like it when you touch our Google, so we can Google all over you. That's right. And check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Live, Prius, or Die. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a like. Retweet us. And spread the word. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Laters.